But look, I don't think anybody was depressed on the start of Raw. Looking at Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker, of course. And then, of course, look at Braun Breaker in that suit and that highly tanned skin that he has. Look, you gotta give it to these guys. Seth Rollins says that Braun Breaker is the future, which he is. Of course, you have Sami Zayn always buttoning his nose into places where it don't belong.
That's exactly what he did.
I'm so sick of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn makes me absolutely sick. I wish Kevin Owens would have ended him. Not ended him like dead, but like, just not even career-wise, but just like get him out the way for a little.
Wait.
Like,
I can't believe it.
It's just get him out the way for just 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. He did, he showed up after Mania, Raw after Mania, but it should have been a little bit longer.
I get the sentiment. I do. I actually feel the same. Just not as extreme.
Just not as extreme. Yeah, it shouldn't be that extreme, honestly. Well, yeah, but when you're looking at it from the point of view of just a couple weeks ago, you was just yeeting with Jey Uso, staring at him, waiting to hit him with a haluva kick. To this week, pretty much saying that Seth Rollins is jealous. They're saying that they're somewhat friends, but he's jealous because he probably wants to be in the spot that Seth is in or that CM Punk is in, and he's that crazy, yada yada. Does Seth have a point?
Seth or Sammy? I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. That's what Sammy said. Does Sammy have a point?
He does. Because, that's the thing. Look at it. He was all like, don't compare me to the bloodline. And I'm like, you literally got Paul Heyman over your shoulder. Like, that was one of the very first pieces of the bloodline was when Roman turned, the camera turned over and was Paul sitting there. And then you got Braun Breaker. So I'm like, then you got you in the Enforcer, just a solo. You look just like the bloodline. So you either die a hero or you look like the bloodline at some point. So yeah, Sammy was spitting fire. I agree on everything he said. I can't stand him, but he not wrong.
Yeah, I just wish he would stick to staring into Jey Uso's eyes and kicking him in the face. But instead, oh man, I can't wait to talk about that. I definitely can't wait to talk about that. But we also got to talk about the match that happened right afterwards. Rhea Ripley taking on Roxanne Perez. Now, of course, we wasn't going to see this match through and through. I don't think they were going to let Roxanne Perez just get absolutely squashed and smacked down like that. That was going to be my prediction, obviously, to that match. But instead, it got a little interrupted. Of course, before things were going to break down for Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley did defeat Roxanne Perez, but of course by disqualification when Julia showed up. And of course, we've seen how that's played out so far with Io Sky defeating both Roxanne Perez and Julia with Jordan Grace. But Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez, I mean, we got to see them touch a little bit. Roxanne Perez getting seen a little bit more on the main roster. Why hasn't she moved up fully? What's your prediction on that?
I'm puzzled. I'm really puzzled. I can't even get it out. Yeah, I'm puzzled too because when she was the last one in the Rumble when Charlotte had to eliminate her to win, I think. I thought then, that was like her main roster I'm here moment. And then she was in the chamber as well, which that's kind of put as a main event picture for the women's division. I'm like, you're in there. It's like all these pieces where I'm like, you should be on the main roster. Why are you still, hanging around NXT?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else for you to do. That's why she be so mad. That's why she be so mad down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so there is so much of Roxanne Perez. There's so much of Roxanne Perez in NXT. Like, she gets a whole lot of screen time, and honestly,
I'm thinking, yes, I can't stand it.
The things for Roxanne Perez to do, I believe, is endless. The more things get built up in NXT, you know. Of course, she did defeat Jordynne Grace, and she loses to Julia. Now she gets to go off against Julia again. She could try to redeem herself, yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards. There's so much for her to do. Why can't we just do that on the main roster? I feel like we can hot shot that on the main roster. Not necessarily hot shot it, but we can mold that
down on the main roster.
So that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. But Devin,
she could be doing what Lyra Valkyria doing.
Man, we're gonna get to her too, because that bothers me. That's bothering the mess out of me. She not necessarily her. She not bothering me. It's people like you that bother me. But we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. Because what happened next is something that I really need your thoughts on. I need to figure out how you feel about Jey Uso and Logan Paul having a war of words on Monday Night Raw.
Well, I think you got to start somewhere. You know, what better place to start than with the YouTube sensation Logan Paul? I mean, think about it. The man just been in the Elimination Chamber. I mean, think about it. The man was the last 2 people in the Royal Rumble, or last 3 people in the Royal Rumble. You know, that speaks big volumes, okay? So, not even that. Let's think about what he did last year. He was the United States champion. He beat Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Not only that, he went toe-to-toe with the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. He did not come victorious, but he did show up to fight. Not only that, he beat Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. Not only that, he manhandled Rey Mysterio the last time they was in the ring. And I know it's Rey Mysterio, but it's Rey Mysterio, may I say. And not only that, he's done more in the past 5 years than Jey Uso did in the past 10. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna do all that. That last part I don't like. But because I'm like, we can't do this. Like, he was the tag team. I'm like, come on now. But no, I mean, everything I said was a true fact. I can't, argue facts. But my mind was thinking of, like, at that moment with the celebration with Sami, I'm thinking like Backlash is like a few weeks away. I'm thinking Sami finna hit him one of them Luva kicks, after he get done yeeting. And, I'm like, Sami been a good guy for a good while. It's been a minute since he's been a heel. I think him and Jey Uso feud could work. They got the history. Where they go from there, I don't know, because now they got Logan Paul in here. So maybe once we get through Logan Paul, we can go down that road of Sami turning against Jey. Because I don't have much to say for this. I mean, it's just gonna be a match. And I don't know. No, if you're gonna beat anybody, go ahead, beat Logan Paul with Jey.
So you mean
it should be Karrion Kross in the give me Jey Uso and Karrion.
You see, man, it's people like you, man.
This the crowd. What you mean? It's people like this the man. I like Logan Paul. I think he's a great wrestler.
Yeah, I like Logan Paul. I think he's a great wrestler. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. but in saying that, him going up against Jey Uso, we were told to take Jey Uso so seriously when he was fighting Gunther. When Gunther was telling him he finna beat the brakes off of him every week, which he did, to pretty much gain him to garner the slightest of respect from the man, which he did, because Jey Uso did end up winning. And your next match, your next challenger is Logan Paul, bro. A man that's just now somewhat full time. If we could give him that, I guess we could call him full time. He's signed 2 years.
He's been more than he usually is. Look at me, he's been there a little bit more than he usually be.
So I was like, he not just showing up when the big PLEs arrive, when the big 4 arrive, which he do, but he is gonna show up at Backlash. He is gonna show up at in Saudi, things of that nature. So, but Devin, you got to be embarrassed by this, man. You got to be embarrassed. This is embarrassing. I feel like this as a Jey Uso fan. I'm a Jey Uso fan, but I'm not a yeeter. I'm not a yeetaholic.
Well, so I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, if they didn't go the route I just thought of with Sami, I don't think that would hurt. Because what you gonna do? You gonna have JB CM Punk? You going? I mean, well, hold on. I take that back. I won't even swing that high right now. Let's see. In terms of JB and Jay working with, like,
if Sami would have kicked him right there and Jay beat Sami, that's perfect. I have zero.
That gives us a start.
That's a huge start. I would have loved it. But that's not what
you could have. I know. That's what I mean. That's where I'm like, I'm really just sitting here just thinking like, all right, let's at least get past Backlash then. That's all we got. Because now that's the road they want us to go down. Unfortunately, I still got hope for this great Sami Zayn, Jey Uso story. So it could still happen. He could beat Logan Paul. And they do another celebration thing because Sami, just recovered from like 80 spears from Braun Breaker or whatever. And he like, what, I'm getting tired of getting speared 50 times. I'm gonna just go ahead and do what Seth's saying. Forget you, Jay. I'm coming for you. It's just.
Do you even have?
It's right there.
Do you have faith in the Jey Uso Logan Paul match?
No. Only because I know going into it, it's not gonna feel it's not gonna have a soul like I knew another few we could have had.
And this is main event Jey Uso. This was supposed to send us to bed at night. And it definitely is.
They kind of crapped the bed with every WrestleMania though. I ain't main event Jey Uso.
Yeah, I give you that. But even then, throw all that away, man. Throw all this main event of Jey Uso away. We just gonna be yeeting because this is how I'm gonna be feeling about his title run. I'm gonna just be up and down feeling. That's how I'm just gonna be feeling about it, man. Logan Paul to start off this reign is cheeks.
It do hurt because I'm just thinking like I was just picturing like Sami could like kick him right there, and that could have been me. Da 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 da. And woo, because Jay the one that eliminated. I'm done because the more I pick up pieces of this, I'm gonna slap somebody because Jay the one that eliminated Sami out the Rumble. Remember when they first was backstage and you thought like they was gonna have some issues, and he like, yo, you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah,
he can still be salty about that.
Exactly.
And like I said, Sami ain't been a heel in a long time. Even when he was in the bloodline, he wasn't really a heel. He was just with some bad people and just made them laugh and made the other people laugh. And remember, Jay was the one that didn't want him. I'm tired of putting more meat on this plate than they want to.
No, it's just irritating, man. It's irritating. And honestly, I think they're making a mistake. This is why Jey Uso shouldn't have won. This is why we should have started with Gunther. And then we're having Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Like, make it make sense. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, did we get Logan Paul versus Pat McAfee? They could have ran that back.
I would have been okay with that. And then having Jay and Gunther run it back. And then Gunther is like, you won't tap me out because I'm no bitch. Like it's something. Give me something.
Yeah, they could have had another. Like, I mean, granted, I'm probably sick of them going against each other, but granted, they could have had that second match because, just because he had one win against Gunther don't really mean that this man still beat you like the 3 other times y'all went against each other.
Exactly.
They could have had they could have had an I quit match or something. And had Gunther saying I quit or something.
Just give me
to further solidify. Why are we thinking about this stuff? I don't mean it like that.
Why are we thinking
I'm wondering why people looking at him crazy, and I'm like, well, shoot, because they not putting him. I ain't trying to say I know everything, but dang, it's better than him going against Logan Paul.
Yes.
First defense, like at least Roman went against him on his like 80th defense.
So I already put it out there. Of course, Jey Uso. When this is the thing I usually say. I give them 3 months when I have zero faith in somebody's title run.
I'll give you 2 money in the bank.
And so far, Jey Uso's title reign is starting off cheeks. Now that he's going up against Logan Paul, and I'm just not a fan. Is one thing I'm also not a fan of is I am a fan of the Judgment Day drama, but of course Judgment Day took on the War Raiders. Penta showed up, of course, costing the Judgment Day in the match. And the War Raiders will be taking on Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Do you really care too much or have any comments about that? We can deep dive into it when we have a fuller show. But do you have any deep thoughts or do you care at all about what's happening?
Well, I think that the Finn Balor disrespect got to stop at some point because,
I
I
agree with
mean,
that.
what's the point? Liv Morgan, a tag team champion. Raquel is. Dominic is the IC champion. I mean, they really don't need him at all. And this has no disrespect to Finn. That's the thing. I ain't trying to disrespect them. They is. So,
Yeah.
no. Pack it up. They'll be fine. They can remold themselves to something else. That's a whole another generation right there. And I ain't trying to be in no disrespect, but I'm trying to be real. Finn Balor need to leave the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
They've
that's
done
true.
no favors for him.
Yeah, no, I think at this point in time, Finn Balor has too much. Like, we always talk about how old a lot of these wrestlers are, and we talk about Finn age a lot. But yet, I still feel like there's so much for Finn to do. I still think like there's so much Finn can get done with the time that he has in his career. Let him leave the Judgment Day. He should have left a while ago. The Judgment Day will be fine without him. Let Dominic Mysterio run the Judgment Day. It's his time now. He's already showed us what he could do. He already has his girlfriend with him. Let them just run rampant around WWE real fast as they have. So I don't know. Like you said, why are we the ones to be discussing this?
Oh, I was talking about Finn. I'm like, yeah, why are you in Judgment Day? I mean, Edge, you couldn't even be Edge in Hell in a Cell, Finn.
Oh, see,
Ever since you've been linked to the. I'm just saying, because even I just look at it ever since then, I ain't seen highs for this dude. Yeah, he was the Raw Tag Team Champion, that's cool, but he can do more. And he ain't got to get treated like this. Hashtag free Finn.
Another person that doesn't have to be treated like this is Lyra Valkyria, man. Look, the man came out there, disrespected Lyra Valkyria. First off, disrespected the fans. I'll start off by saying this. I'm sick of Becky Lynch. I got Becky Lynch fatigue. She been gone for how long? She came back for what, 2 weeks? I'm sick of her already. Sick of her already. Because she doing the exact same thing. It's just recycled and it's boring. It's boring. I seen the same thing, a decade ago? I could care less. Lyra Valkyria was out there spitting truth. She was talking game to her, and the crowd didn't give a damn, bro. They just sat there and stared at her with their head sideways, just confused as to what Lyra was speaking another foreign language. They was just confused. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria said, "You're on. Fight me at Backlash." Nobody said a damn thing. It's just they was bro, it's 9:45. What you doing? Made me sick to my stomach.
You gotta tell them what time it is.
It made me sick to my stomach. The Lyra Valkyria disrespect, as you talked about with the disrespect to Finn Balor, has to stop expeditiously. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
I mean, my thing with Becky. I mean, how can I say this? I don't mind Lyra trying to, have her IC championship involved in some type of story, because at some point, her in ring is as good as it's gonna be. It's like everything else in between, character wise work and just things like that. I don't know if a heel turn down the road can help with that or not. But from what we are speaking now, it's just how first you got the thing with Bayley. Because I feel like you could have told this same story with Bayley. Them throwing Becky Lynch into it, and then her saying she the one that attacked Bayley. It felt like a lot of instances that are just kind of forced when that path was already kind of late. It's similar to, maybe it's not, but is it kind of similar to how we felt with Gunther and Chad Gable, how it flipped into Sami?
Yeah.
Where leading up to it, it was all this emotion where you know what, I can see Chad beating Gunther at WrestleMania or whatnot. I can see y'all doing, but then they end up kind of going, oh no, we gonna have Sami do that. Just go on the back burner somewhere. Right. The point I'm trying to make is just I feel like the same story could have already happened. You could have planted these seeds before. Instead of just throwing Becky, and I got it, Becky and Lyra do have history, but it's just to just interject it right now at WrestleMania, just boom. I got all this hatred for you. I've been on vacation and just sitting here plotting your oppression. I don't know. It is.
I feel like another thing is, as we mentioned before, there's just an overabundance of talent that we just saw in the midst of Becky Lynch being away. We get to talk about Sol Ruka. We get to talk about Jada Parker, Stephanie Vacure, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace. We weren't thinking about Becky Lynch. Oh, when Becky Lynch coming back? You ever thought about that? I ain't never said that. No offense to Becky Lynch, but I ain't never heard anybody say when Becky Lynch coming back in the midst of her being gone. Maybe in the first 3 months. I mean, have you heard that?
No, I mean that's the thing. But like you said, it's no disrespect. But
Yeah,
it's where the state of the division is that you can leave. You can go and have a hiatus, and it's not, gonna just the division just unwatchable. There's no credible champions anymore. It's not at that point, and that's the thing. It's just like we already have threads that are leading into things that making sense, building upon it. That when you pop in like that, win the tag team championship, then lose it, and then you turn on whoever this is, and now you want their championship. I just made my own head hurt just saying what just happened.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, and honestly, like Becky Lynch is just. Like I said, we've seen it all. It's the same old Becky Lynch, same old man.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Over and over.
It's like That's crazy.
Sick.
That was 2021.
Yeah, 2021 exactly. And when he was just finally starting to talk, when that was him finally. That's when we finally was just like, oh, okay, we have something here.
We got something. We might have something to work with.
Right, that was showing our true color. That was when he was showing his true colors. But honestly, looking at how Seth Rollins was talking to Sami yesterday, I was trying to figure out why Sami Zayn wasn't going to stick to Seth Rollins' deal. Seth Rollins, when Paul Heyman sat down next to Sami and said, "Hey, look, listen here." He was licking his lips. Listen here. He said, I got to tell you something. He said, Seth Rollins is going to offer you, if you could just get the hell away from what we got going on here, you could just go over to SmackDown and mind your damn business. You could be the number one contender for John Cena. So for John Cena or Randy Orton, depending on who wins, if you could just stay out of our business and shut up. Just like, hey, get the hell up out of here. That's honestly, if I'm Sami, John Cena, just like, but like honestly, if I'm Sami, I think about it. I'd be like, wait, I mean, granted, if I do that, you technically quote unquote hold me, but on the flip side,
I got a championship opportunity.
Yeah, like I'm going to SmackDown. There's a bunch of bull job going on over here. I can come over here, fight an old head named John Cena, maybe fight an older head in Randy Orton. Come on now, brother. I ain't got to worry about what's going over there. Oh, but then again, it's just him, Moose. I could definitely just be him. I was gonna call it a day. And put an end to all this foolishness. So honestly, of course, as you can see from the header below, Sami said no deal, and he got beat up for it. Braun Breaker, of course, just absolutely destroyed him. That's why when Paul Heyman left after giving Sami Zayn the offer, he looked at the highly tanned Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker was just kind of just giving him the stare down, like, "Hey man, just wink at me, and I'll spear him out of his shoes." I'll show you speed. I show speed, brother. It is what it is. So huge shout out to Braun Breaker, of course, still showing us again he is the future. Of course, he has an old man in Kentucky that's just going to glaze him to death. But I do believe that Braun Breaker is definitely going to be the future. And I believe everything Seth Rollins said. You still loving what's going on here, and are you excited for possibly seeing Sami Zayn versus Seth at Backlash if they are going there?
I'm very excited with everything they got going on because I would say just like in terms of how this is going, it's kind of cool how you just move just a couple pieces and it's like how the momentum will shift. Or like a few months ago, it's like you got Roman, it's like Paul Heyman, it's the Bloodlines all running stuff, and then like real quick, Paul Heyman just bloop, bloop, low blow. And now he with the Seth Rollins, you got Braun Breaker. It's like, dang. Like I put like this, just like I said, when you move like a Paul Heyman, now you got the legitimacy there.
Yeah.
Then you got the future with Braun Breaker already there. Seth Rollins, he's like the Triple H of evolution of the whole thing, with the veteran experience. And it'll be insane if I'm not saying that they have to do it right away, but when they potentially add a fourth member, I don't know if that'll be, Sami will finally fold in and be like, you know what? Hey, you went wrong. I had to get speared a couple times, but I get it now. So maybe a fifth member will be even crazier. Put Becky Lynch in there.
Put Becky Lynch in there.
She could be a Paul Heyman guy.
Please don't put Becky Lynch in there. Please don't put Becky Lynch. I'd cry if Becky Lynch became a Paul Heyman guy, Paul Heyman man. I'd be sick. I'd be like, Paul Heyman.
Ready to say it.
I'd be like, you had so many other people to choose from. I would be like, let's go through the list, Paul. Paul, let's sit down and go through. We literally just talked about
all these different people that could pop in, and this is what you were going with.
Right, exactly. We're going to be sitting there looking like, you ever seen that Drake? Oh, we was talking about Drake and Lil Yachty sitting at the computer.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like,
Jordan I ain't know we could just use that. Yeah. Duh. I ain't know she was on SmackDown.
Right.
Maybe. Chelsea Green. I'm just kidding.
Chelsea Green. You see, okay, this man is not 54.
He's like, all right. He'd be like, all right, get this man out the kitchen.
But, get this man out the kitchen.
No,
like,
I do see.
He's burning up the place. I'm sorry. I'm done.
I do see. They got the smoke alarm going off. I'm like, all right, what is this? But I do see us leading to Sami and Seth at Backlash. Because I guess that's the route they got to take to get to my Jey Uso Sami Zayn feud, I guess. If I got to sit here and, Triple H want us to go through stage 5, act 17, I get it. As long as I get what I want. I'm going to be like Batista. I see what Batista was standing up there. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
What I want. It's like, bro, okay, you said it in a different tone. He gonna change. You know what, brother? I changed my mind.
Your voice is a little deeper. I'm a little frightened now.
I'm a little frightened.
Consider me threatened.
But even then, look, I think we did amazing today. 50 minutes of reviewing 2 shows. It literally takes us 30 minutes to review 1 segment. and now...
let me be professional today. Look, I was like, I ain't had no do-rag on. I brushed my hair.
I
drank my hour-old coffee.
Let's see, that's trifling.
I'm going to pay for it in the middle of the night, but it's all good.
Well, how about you help people, throughout the night as they watch this live and close this show out? Is there any last words you have for the audience?
Let me just move, no offense to them right now because I just don't trust them, okay? I'm going to just move the Lakers out of any vicinity. I know that little thing was up for them at the start of the episode, but I ain't feel like doing that right then. So until we see where it's going, no, because I feel highly embarrassed. But one thing I'm not embarrassed about is about being a part of this community, the Heel Turn podcast. All you people, all you brethren, all you ladies and good fellows, and I ran out of good adjectives because a lot of people ain't all that good. They're real heinous, they're real dirty. It's the back alley type of people you got to watch out for. And the leader of them all is Isaiah Jackson Jr. So I'm going to leave you all with that piece of advice on this great Tuesday. It's 9:56 p.m. I don't have to say too much more. So I'm going to hand it back over to the number 1 hater in the nation, Isaiah Jackson. Find him in the back alley leading the coat or something like that. Junior, I'm going to hand it over. I'm starting to lose control of this car.
That's crazy. Now, imagine if the music was still playing and you like, well, Isaiah said, I'm over here getting arrested. I'm like, what you mean?
What you mean I ain't doing nothing?
You just see in that little box in the corner. What you mean? Like, he was just playing.
I come back. I'm like, well, guys, we'll see you next time. I gotta.
I'm like, y'all gotta turn the music down. Turn the music down so he can tell you how he playing. Turn the music
down. Keep going on and on with all these different things you done did. I'm like, and when he see a turtle sign, he don't slow down. He run right over turtles. He don't care if it's a duck.
Right? Yeah, he just keep going. And this his confession. He wrote this down. I'm like, what we do?
I'm reading it right here. That's like my hand right here.
I'm over here like, turn the music down. Turn the music down. Let him explain. The cop over here think I'm playing. Yeah, bro, turn the TV off. I'm like, no, please. The TV off. Please stop. But okay, I'm sorry. We played. I'm sorry. I played too much. But
it's 9:57.
I can't say we. One of us, one or both of us might be here tomorrow. I was going to ask.
No, he be trying to set me up. He be like, see, we gonna be here at 11 o'clock. Yeah. This man be all kicked up. He be having them cotton balls between his toes, man. He be playing 2K. He be living like a boss, man.
That's the thing. Tomorrow gonna be much quicker because it's just one show. We did 2 shows in an hour. We can do a show in 30 minutes.
Oh, I mean, that's because it's...
Yeah, AEW probably gonna have a lot to talk about. So yeah, we might. You know how this guy get. You know he gonna get cranky. You know it's gonna be past his bedtime. You already know. So yeah.
No, it's gonna be opposite. I'm gonna be passive. You know, I'm gonna just be like, hey, if that's what y'all you want to blur, you want to sit there and stick spike in each other's backs, be my guest.
Yeah, okay. If something like that happened, yeah, we might have to stay up a little bit. I was like, we might have to stay up a little bit and talk about that. But look, we do thank you guys for tuning in. Like we said, we are cutting clips from the live stream and posting them on YouTube so you don't miss out on a single thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I thought we did a great job with it so far, and we will continue. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Continue to do it, and we see you guys next time.